Morning, Jim. Morning, Kinsey. Encore, encore. Morning, Bailey. Well, that was that for the music. The lovely banjo music performed by Dick Martin and his cronies. Mm. I don't have much to talk about this morning. I just thought I'd go live. Still working on getting my first pot of coffee down me. Gotta fire up the wood splitter and get the cuttings to split some more wood this morning. I really need to spend one more week at filling up this woodshed before I get started up there on the sawmill and moving it down here. Morning, Junkyard. Is this the Deliverance channel? Oh man, I find banjo music to be so romantic. Need to add that soundbite though. Squeal like a pig. Squeal louder, louder. Leroy, I used to be really good at the squeals like the pig, and I used to make it really loud. It would sound like, yeah, I mean, you could hear it from half a mile away when I'd get to squealing like a pig. It's hard to do though. Ned Beatty and the hardest part. There's a bunch of more pig noises I used to be able to make. I can't do the pig noises like I used to. I can't do hardly any of the. Ever since I pulled my teeth, it's a lot harder to make the animal sounds. Hmm. Ah, some good coffee this morning. Well, Ned Beatty had the hardest part. Yeah. Yeah, your frontal lobes just haven't developed yet, Tim. Oh, peanut butter? No, 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 no peanut butter in my coffee. No. Peanut butter and ice cream is fantastic, but not in coffee. No. I mean that would be like putting peanut butter in Mountain Dew. You just don't do it. Run up to the flea market today. You an iron dog. Wonder how many sales Iron Dog got on his at his auction there on that video. Had an internal engine failure. You mean was it a 454? You mean? I'm not sure. I never heard of a 445. Not saying that they didn't make them. Oh, plastic cam. Yeah, came down to feed the cat. Should have had them bid on it for you. That big old crock could have made a lot of sauerkraut in it, huh? We don't get auctions like that. All the auctions that I've ever been to around here, the S8 auctions, 90% of them is just junk. It's a waste a whole lot of time going to a whole bunch of auctions just to find a few items that might be worthy of bidding on. And every auction I've ever been to, most of the stuff you can buy brand new for like $50, $75, and they're selling that stuff for 110, 150 bucks. It's like you can buy this stuff cheaper new. You know those cheap aluminum extension ladders you can pick up for like $6 or $7 a foot. You know, they were those cheap old $6 or $7 a foot extension ladders, those really thin, flimsy aluminum ones. They were selling for $15 a foot. You'd be dead before it arrived. Yeah, I know. Oh, good deal, layaway. It replaced it with some good parts. Oh, it's a John Deere 445 garden tractor. Okay. I was thinking of 445 motor. I'd heard of 454. I've heard of 440 Magnum. Well, I think what it is, Junkyard, after looking at it, and somebody else brought this to my attention, so I can't claim ownership of this statement, but somebody did say, hey, it looks like a bunch of old people there at the auction, like it's job security, all these old people buying up all that junk. And next week or two, it'll all be back in an auction again, when those old people pass on. Now, which tractor is the John Deere 445? Is that does that have hydraulics and stuff like that? Can you do a hydraulic rototiller and stuff like that on the back, or is that more the homeowner type of just lawnmower? If you're going through that extent, I'm thinking it's the better the regular one with the hydraulics, got the 3-point on the back probably and stuff. I'm not familiar. See, I'm not familiar with the John Deere's, what models are what and stuff. Morning, Chairman. Front and rear hydraulics. So it's probably comparable to my tractor, maybe a little bit bigger. What's the horsepower on it? Mine's an 18 horse. My Kubota is. Yeah, when you're dead, your stuff is split between a dumpster and an auction. Yep. 22 horsepower. Okay, so yours would be equivalent up to the next step up from what mine is. Mine is the BX18, and the Kubota was next step up was a BX2300 series. So yours would be equivalent to the next size up, which you could probably put a backhoe on yours. Mine is a little bit too small to put the backhoe on. I'm wishing I had gone with the 2300 when I got mine. I wish I had made that one little step up. It's capable of handling a lot more attachments than what mine's capable of. All I really know about these things is these little Kubotas and John Deere garden tractors or whatever. These little tiny tractors. Those suckers are tough little tractors. I'm impressed with them. Good morning, Moose. You finally woke up, huh? Or did you get the? Or you were out busy guarding the chickens this morning? It's not really so much the extra horsepower that I want junkyard, other than just enough to be able to run the equipment. I mean, I can't even get a backhoe attachment that will hook up to my tractor. And if I had got the 2300, it's already preset up to hook up a backhoe to it. It would take a lot of work to take their little backhoe and hook it up to mine, and then it would probably be underpowered. Been taking care of some chores, cool. I mean, I'm actually happy with the horsepower. I don't know how it would do with the backhoe on there. I'd probably want just a little bit more. But for everything that I do, it's got plenty of power for what I do. But it's like if you want to run a hay baler, they take, I think, the what, 35, 40 horsepower to run a hay baler, which I have no need for anything like that. Oh, cool. I sure wish you'd video it, Moose. Sure wish you'd video you. Give us a nice 15, 20-minute long video. I know you like your videos to show content, but at least have one channel where you just upload raw video footage of run it in the raw, without doing the much editing. I enjoy to me it's mesmerizing watching a sawmill go, especially when you got a good quality one like yours that you just push buttons basically and it back and forth and stuff. To me, that type of stuff is mesmerizing. Yeah, but that's the time to be making videos on it, most. If you want it to be content, show the mistakes, show everything about it as you're learning. That's what people like to see. Just set the camera up. Even if you did it live stream, I don't know if you could just set it up as live stream and let it go, and then don't pay attention to the camera. You just focus on the milling and doing your deal. And don't bother editing it because I mean it's so much footage to worry about editing. I just let it go. People love that type of stuff, Moose. There's other people that they want the shorter versions of all this sawmilling and different stuff. But there's people that actually want the entire, see the beginning to end, regardless. If they're staying around time, a person always has that slide forward and skip this part. Oh man, Moose, that's for sure. Now you Scott, Robert is going to be pissed if you don't record it. Now I know that you better record it. Sure you are, Tim. You know, yeah, I'm not going to tell you what you should do and what you should record or anything. You're so much better at it than me, so it'd be stupid of me to give you suggestions. I mean, and I'm not saying that sarcastically. I mean that. Mm. And that oak that I've been splitting the outside like 2 inches on, a lot of it has gotten pretty punky, but the heartwood on it is really good wood. But that punky stuff on the outside, that makes good cooking fires. It's oak and maple mixture. This afternoon I'll probably do a cooking fire. Not sure what you're doing for supper tonight. Let's take it. I'll be right back. I gotta grab another cup of coffee. I don't know if I messed this on up or not, but our freezers are getting pretty full. So when I did all those turkeys, some of it I did freeze, but like the drumsticks, this is where I might have messed this on up. But on the drumsticks, I went ahead and pressure canned them, and I'm thinking about I pressure canned them to see how they would do. So when I can open them up and pull them on out, maybe batter them up or something, and put them on the barbecue and see how that does. But they might want to just fall all apart and me trying to cook them on there. Morning, Sandra. Need to get down to 200 or 220. I would like to get under 220. I've been having a hard time getting down below 240. Blackened canned. No, they're not blackened. I don't burn them in the pressure canner. That's only on the fire. Smoked drumsticks would be good. Yeah, I'm sure it'll be good if they. I'm just kind of worried that when I pull them on out and I cook them on there, I just kind of smoke them on there or whatever. I'm kind of worried that they'll want to just disintegrate on me. I'm put it this way. I'm concerned that I might have over cooked them on the canner. You only steam your drumsticks. Okay, Iron Dog. Yeah, Christy had that down pretty well. She mastered the burning water. There was nobody that did it better. The question is, do I want to cook some potatoes and go with those drumsticks, or what I want to have with them? I'm curious what they're saying in Noodles chat room. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Make a nice chicken neck pie. Scallop potatoes would be yum. Yeah, they would, but cooking scallop potato, first of all, this the temperatures that I'll be cooking at would be really low. I'm using that punky wood, which is really good for smoking, not so great for cooking on high temperatures. I think so, Junkyard. After the text, that man, his choice of football teams and pickups are pretty lousy. I think he blocked me yesterday, Junkyard. I think he did. I left a comment on his last video, and it's not showing up on there. Break the noodles addiction. I have too much fun messing of tormenting him. I'm just being that pesky little fly that won't go away. He keeps on swatting at and missing. Hey, JR, your team won yesterday? What was the final score, Junkyard? I just had a birdie telling me what the score was. I didn't watch the Texas and the Alabama game. I didn't watch it, but I had a little birdie telling me what was going on, and it sure sounded like Texas was having a good day. Act like a married couple. You worried about? I'm not too worried about Bobby whether he's okay after this. I'm more worried about Tammy. I do hope that she's okay. The defense is always questionable. I mean, you'd be surprised, Sandra. The old crew is slowly getting back together over there. You wouldn't believe all the names that are showing up over there at Noodles. I think Noodles just might be the one that pulls all the homesteaders back together again. Not only did they lose, but they lost big. What was the final score? She's the one that's not in there, Tim. Like who? Ah, Sandra, I think it's supposed to be like AA over there in Noodles live chat. Who you see here, what you hear here, let it stay here when you leave here. Here, here. Amber is looking for me, huh? But a win is a win. Yeah, Tara was fun when she live streamed. But she was mean to me. She always timed me out. That was mean of her. I don't know why she was always timing me out. Well, that didn't work out so well on Marco Polo. But you digress. That's what made Strays so fun, good JR. That's what made Strays slicing so fun. Yeah, Amber always called me Grandpa, and then she'd tell me incest is best. But that's what you got. Yep, exactly, Sandra. I really thought that was hilarious when Fat Boy brought up that line of with Picker Rick eating the Cheetos, or the nicotine stains on his fingers, and him saying, "Looks like he finger banged the Cheeto." I mean, he used different words for it, but he sounded like he needed oxygen. And cousins are good for practice. That's disgusting. He'd make him pee himself. I believe that, Sandra. I do. I do believe you can make somebody pee themselves. How many birds are hitting the gas tank? Whoa! They huffing fumes and getting high there, junkyard. Yeah, Fat Boy had his problems. I have my problems. I mean, everybody has their issues. There's always something that somebody don't like about somebody. But all in all, Fat Boy may had his issues, but he was a funny guy. Didn't get to make that connection. That's a bummer. I bet you he was looking forward to meeting you too, Jr. I mean, I can't imagine him dissing you on that. I mean, that I can't imagine him trying to avoiding you. I don't have problems. I am the problem. I would have liked to met Fat Boy, and I would have liked to met Scott King. I mean, initially, when I first bumped and came across Scott King on here, I didn't like Scott King at first. I couldn't stand him. He just annoyed me so fierce. But as I got used to him, after about a year, I got used to him, and I started kind of liking the guy. I think I started liking him after I named it, because I started calling him Chicken Shit, and so then I nicknamed one of our roosters Chicken Shit after Scott King, and that's when I actually started liking Scott King after I named one of the roosters after him. I would like to have met Embardo's Smithing and Woodcraft. Other than Tessie and Bob, you've never met any. I know you've met those two. I've met a few, and I'll tell you what. I did meet what's that guy? He lives in that log cabin. Him and his wife. They're a pretty large channel. Uh Shoot, something on Stacy. What's his name? His wife's name is Stacy. He was a pretty. I talked with him, chatted with him for a bit. He was a pretty cool guy. I actually did like him, but he wouldn't take me off of his block list. Doug, yeah, Doug and Stacy. Doug was pretty cool. I met him, talked with him and stuff. We had a good chat and stuff, but he wouldn't take me off his block list. And understandably, he didn't want my nonsense on his channel. I totally get it. I told him not to. He said that he would take me off the block list if I would behave, and I said absolutely not. And he laughed. It was kind of funny though. When I met him, I went over to their booth over there at the fairgrounds in Albany, and they were both gone for lunch or something when I first went on over there. And my back was hurting from just walking on the concrete there. So I didn't stick around, but I left a note. I told him, I said, well, there was somebody else there. I just wrote down on a note. I left it there for them to give to Doug and Stacy. All I said was, "Here, kitty, kitty, kitty." That's all. That's the only note that I left on there. And then I left. The next day, I came on back, and Stacy seen that note, and she looked up and she'd seen me, and then she started laughing. And I'm like, why is she laughing hysterically? And then they told me what the deal was. They said they got that note and said, "Here, kitty, kitty, kitty," and they said they were so perplexed. They spent a couple hours trying to figure out who that was. Because I didn't give my name or anything to anybody there. For 2 hours they were so perplexed of what that "here, kitty, kitty, kitty" meant. As soon as they seen my face, so walking on up, that they started busting up laughing. They knew what the note was from me. And I have to admit, it was Stacy that got me into doing the fermentations. Now I ain't a master at it. I just like making pickles and a few things, not a whole lot. But it was watching their channels that got me decided to start trying it. And never mind the health benefits. I just really love home fermentations and the pickles and stuff and sauerkraut. And actually, I was doing sauerkraut already. Never heard of Doug and Stacy? Off grid with Doug and Stacy. They live like Amish and kind of dress almost like Amish or Mennonite. But they're not Amish or Mennonite. You know, they're neither one. But they live in their community, so they wear their clothes and they live totally off grid where they're at in a log cabin. They're I don't care for their videos when they start talking about their political views. I might totally agree all along with them, but you know, some of the stuff they talk about now, they're getting more and more into more of the political type of stuff, and I don't watch channels to be influenced one way or the other on political views. I already have my views on that. Fermented toe jam? That's already fermented. Doug's a big guy. I mean, he towered over me. I'm 6'1", 6'2", something like that. And he towered over me. He's at least 6'6", maybe 6'8". He's a big guy. I didn't realize how big he was. Got some raspberry jam at the $1.25 tree. Pennsylvania Dutch witchcraft. There you go. Yeah, you do, Junkyard. I wish I could travel. I would love to take a year, hop in a little minivan, and camp out, travel around the United States, meet a number of place people. And Junkyard, I would definitely swing by, your area. Don't know if I'd be welcome on your property. That's neither here nor there because I can't do it. But I would love to met you. You'll consult with Tessie and have her as a guest speaker. I would love to go across. There's in the last 5 years, who the people that I would want to meet have changed drastically. I would not want to go to any of the larger channels, and nothing against them, but they already get enough visitors. You know, I'd be trying to give them their privacy. I mean, I'm not going to go banging on their door and say, hey, be a yuppie of whoever and stuff. That's not me. But I wouldn't mind going around and meeting some of y'all that we've chat with on here. I would love to run around. I'd love to meet Junkyard Tim, Iron Dog. Moose, I would love to show up in one of you guys' towns and have some coffee with you all and swap some stories and stuff. No, I don't. I've never had a desire to meet with Wrangle Star. I could probably meet Wrangle Star if I wanted to. He don't live but maybe 2.5 hours from me. I have no desire of bumping into him anywhere. I don't shoot at first sight. I mean, I wouldn't necessarily want to stay at any of you guys' houses. I mean, that's asking too much to ask anybody that you just met online to say, "Hey, let me know where you live at." I mean, I wouldn't be doing that. I'd try to meet up with y'all, maybe at a campground or something like that. No, thank you. No, thank you, Moose. Now, there I'd feel at home, Tim. Just as long as I don't have to sleep in the basement with the rope access. Sandra, if I was to come by your place, I would want to sleep out in that barn out there. You haven't shown much of it, but I would love to sleep out in that barn. Unless you've totally cleaned it out by now, forcing your husband to get rid of good stuff. See, I seen your treehouse. You showed that the other day. It don't look. I think I would rather stay in Tim's outhouse, Rick. You know, that treehouse doesn't look stable anymore. You got a welcome mat with the bullseye right painted right behind it. Treehouse comes with Gracie. Uh-oh. Nope, I definitely don't want to be in that treehouse. Yeah, that treehouse is reserved for Gracie. Well, if it came down to who I'd stay with, Gracie or Amber, seriously, I'd rather stay with Gracie than Amber. And here's the reason why. Gracie never did flirt with me. I'd feel more comfortable for me. I understand why Rick won it, but I'd feel more comfortable with Gracie than I would with Amber. Neither. Yeah, Gracie never did flirt with me. How about Renda's friend? That Eskimo gal from Alaska. I can't remember what her name was. Something TV or you're a foodie beauty fan yourself. Was it JCTV? Was that her name, Tim? That I could do that, Junkyard. That would work for me. And she sure didn't like any competition with a female. She hated Rinda with a passion. And I didn't. Of course, I didn't do anything to egg that on. I was innocent. You hate like crazy top. No, I think you were around back then, Jr. I think you were. There was just so much going on, Jr. You probably didn't, in Rick's chats and stuff. You probably didn't notice it. Try Eskimo pie. No, no. Yeah, I think he was still involved, but I think he's doing the tool community, and he was still coming over here to Rick's and stuff. Yeah, she was, and I think she was in Michigan. She was from Alaska. She drew Alaskan Native American money or whatever. Iron Dog was always giving her a bunch of crap about that. Um, What Iron Dog doesn't realize on the Native American money, yeah, our taxes pay them money, but the Indian reservations are their own nations. They're not per se American citizens. They're totally run however they want to run them, and so they're not subject to that money that that Doug was always accused of taking that money off the reservation, living on it in another state. He said that was wrong, blah, blah, blah. No, there wasn't nothing wrong with that. Chased a coon off last night. If that's an impressive cat to do that. He couldn't afford that. Tim winning all the time. And Rick thought he was going to have to claim you as a defendant there for a bit there, Tim. Live on Choctaw Indian land. Hey, a second, I gotta grab me another cup of coffee. Yeah, okay, I'm back. Good job, you got the wife mowing the yard. I wish I could get my wife to mow our yard. They pop in every once in a while, not very often. Just buy a new mower. I got a push mower on out here that I need to go to Harbor Freight and see if I can get a new motor to put on it, on this push mower. That might be kind of cool if you're in a good size setting for that. Is there good hunting in your area, junkyard? Or good four-wheel driving or anything? Good fishing? I have to buy a new one every 4 years to get on the old ones. Call it the Hideaway Inn. You know what would be funny with that junkyard? Is if a guy booked up a cabin there to get away from his wife, and then the wife booked up a cabin with a boyfriend, and they both got there at the same time. Divorce Ranch. No names, ultimate privacy. Strictly cash. I tell you what, I think you'd want to have a steam cleaner to steam clean each room every single time. Tell them to bring their own bedding. Vinyl covered mattresses. And burn them down and start over each time. There you go. Fourth of July fireworks. That will take the yard down. That ain't part of Dallas either. You know what? Junkyard, the part that would scare me is I'd find out that I'd end up renting it up out to married guys, but it'd be all dudes showing on up. That'd even be worse yet. There you go, JR. JR, that'd be a good one. Yeah, use prison mattresses. There you go. Road apple ends. Pay to get in, pay to get out. No, just make it pay to get on out. Yeah, I remember those too, Junkyard. Those were more at that type of stuff. That was more at the Greyhound bus centers and stuff, where they would have the pay stalls. I don't remember any of that at the any place but the train stations and the Greyhounds. I remember this one guy up in Alaska. He was building himself a house. It was up on stilts because of the permafrost, and he didn't have his septic in yet or anything, but he had the toilet inside, and he was dumping it, flushing it right into a bucket, and he'd have to go out there and empty the bucket. You know, every time he used the toilet, he'd have to go out there. Every time his wife or daughter would use the bucket, he'd have to go on out there, grab the bucket, and dump it. One time it got so cold for about a week, it was 60 below zero for about a week there. Too cold for him to go out the bucket. So over the course of that week, um, the bucket definitely overflowed, had a big old pile of poop on out there, and it warmed up to like 20 or 30 degrees below zero. So he went on out there, was trying to break it on up with a pick and stuff underneath the house, and it was just frozen too hard. He couldn't break it on up. So then he went in there with a weed burner to thaw it on out. Now you think thawing out the poop, that's the worst part of it. No, the worst part of it was the methane gas in there. It blew up on him. You had to have two bumpers or no go. Holy crap is right. Oh, that guy got a lot of teasing over that. After that, he made sure that he emptied that bucket no matter how cold it got. Yep, because a new meeting to explosive diarrhea. He was in a world of shit. Yep. That crap in the fence rows kills the grass, keeps the fence from growing up. Okay, take care, JR. I'm going to get it out of here pretty soon. I got to start my day. I got to finish splitting up that oak and maple over there and then try to get it all stacked in the woodshed today. It's taken me forever to get that done. I wish I was young again. I wonder what Iron Dog's working today. If he's got another auction or what he's on today. We made nests and doled outside the privy. Good laying out. Next Thursday, cool. Yeah, you know what you got to look forward to with that, Sandra. At first, their little cries, the first day or two, when they're like the baby cries like, eh, eh. They're so cute when they cry, and then all of a sudden, like 3 days later, their lungs develop. And once those lungs develop, no more peace. For about 5, 10, 15, 18 years or longer. Packed like sardines already. Yeah, but I'm sure they're getting closer to being able to afford buying their house. That's cool that you're able to help them be able to save up that money, be able to get into a place. I mean, kids nowadays, they do need parental help, not handouts. I'm not talking about that, but they do need that help to get on their legs. What's peace? I wish I had that answer. Sandra, have they tried looking into an undeveloped piece of property and then buying an old travel trailer or old motorhome to move on in or something to go that route? Develop the place themselves. I mean, they might be able to buy an old motorhome and get a mobile home, double wide or something, and get it for like 10 grand, 15, 20 with it all set on up. And I don't know, maybe I don't know what land value sells around there, but maybe 50, 60,000 for undeveloped 5 acres. Duct tape makes them learn to breathe through their nose. Yep, junkyard, I'm with you on that. Yeah, it takes 15, 20,000 to set one on up. But I would think that you'd be able to get the electricity and sewer all done and included in that 15, 20,000. Yes, the health department has to be involved. I mean, the building department has to go on in there. They have to have the sewer and the water put on in and all that. It's still costly. I'm not saying it'd still be cheap, but they're acting as a developer, so they actually getting in something that they might have a little bit. When it's all done, it's more equity involved with it. Morning, Robert. I mean, it would probably take 6 months to have it all done. But if they acted as their own general contractor and did some digging around looking for qualified subcontractors to do the work for them and schedule it on in, a lot of times you can get a pretty good deal that way. But they definitely want to know what they're kind of getting into too. As far as how to go about that whole process and how to pick out the right people so they don't get screwed over. Here's another thought, Sandra. I don't know what your situation is, how much land you have, but you could put another mobile in there if they paid for it to set it on up. On a hardship permit, that means when the hardship's over, the secondary home has to go. You might possibly be able to do that. Set up, get a hardship permit, and if they bought the trailer and set it up, if they're of course they're going to be out the money of the setup fees to put it up there, should they ever choose. But that's something that they would be able to take their mobile home that they already paid for and have it moved onto another piece of property down the road. That are having enough credit. Yeah. Are we setting up if it was just a single, if they could get by with just a single wide and bring it on there, they're really easy for them to set up themselves. If it's just a single wide, by these concrete blocks that are they're 16 by 16 by 4 inches thick, and you stack them 3 wide, and then the next layer you go up 2 wide, then a single block's on top of that for the base for each pure pad. It's really easy to set those on up because it is a temporary and it is approved to do. Um, then hook it up. I don't know what your septic system is like, if you'd have to put in an extra tank or not. And you already have the water supply there and electricity, so it wouldn't be that big of a deal to put in an additional meter. You got good credit, Robert. Mine's in the upper 700s, close to 800. Yeah, in city limits, that's something. We have a deal here on city limits. You can't put mobile homes in older than 20 years old, I think it is, in the city limits. But in the counties has no limit, at least in our county. They won't allow you to level it yourself. Oh wow. The health department. Wow. Usually it's the building department, but I mean every state and county is different though. Do they have to? In other words, they have to hook up the sewer. There's no homeowner to be able to do that stuff. I mean, because I know we have laws like that type of deal, Sandra. If it's going to be for a rental, um, on rental, if you're going to do it as rental property, then you have to have somebody else do it. But if you're doing it as your own home, you should be able to do it if they're doing it for themselves. You might check into that. That might just be for rental properties that they have to do that way. If it's for rental property or if it's going to be for resale within a year, then you're supposed to have somebody else do it. But if it's not going to be rental or it's not going to be sold within the year here, then you can do the work yourself. That's what I like, junkyard. Boy, Noodles chat on Marco Polo is going crazy. Oh wow, that's crazy, Sandra. I want to move to Oklahoma, junkyard. Except for there ain't no trees for me to cut. Yeah, they still have to deem it livable. I mean, you have to. With us, it's not through the health department. Well, it's the health department that issues the DEQ part, but it's the building department that issues the permits, and you have to. They have to go through it, and they certify it. The building department when you install the place, they have to inspect it before you can move on in. They check to make sure that the sewer is hooked up right, the water is hooked up properly, the electrical is all hooked up properly, the ground fault system all works into it, and all the different stuff that you don't that you have the if you're burning a wood stove or whatever you have to eat, they go through the whole thing and check it on out. But that's all done by the building department, not by the health department. The DEQ is the only one that the septic field itself, and that's outside of the home. I wonder what the health department would look for there on the deeming on whether a house is livable or not. So the health department, they won't give like a list of codes that deems it, what it'd have to be that, and the homeowner could be able to bring it up to those codes, those standards. They won't let the homeowner. Right. I can see them, saying, okay, the place has to be healthy to live in and safe and stuff. I can see that, but I would think that they would have codes and let the homeowner bring it up to those standards.
I heard a plane.
Yeah, plane just did fly overhead.
It wasn't.
I don't know. I didn't look up at it.
It was loud because they're not normal. I never see jet planes going over them anymore.
Oh, they fly over quite a bit. Just they're way up higher.
They used to be lower. They used to see them all the time.
Okay.
And I could watch them go.
Could I talk you into pour me another cup of coffee?
You can come out if you want.
Thank you.
You want
No, just black. Watch out, Peter. Yes, I know you love your daddy. You don't need to knock my phone over. You want daddy's attention. Yes, you do. You already had your breakfast.
when they have them things and they park all over there. There's no place for the helicopters and stuff to land.
Okay. There is places. Don't worry about it. Yeah.
That's scary.
That's been pretty bizarre on that. Sandra, can't they get, like, while they're doing the work, I would think that they could get a temporary service, like we do as construction. We can put in a temporary service to the place. So you still have electricity there. So while you're working on the place, oh, shut up, Robert. That sounds like something with our DEQ, Sandra. I mean, like, before you can get a permit to put in a home, you have to have a DEQ a permit, which they'll dig in a couple of spots, designated spots where the septic field is going to go to check for a perk test on the soil. Before you can get a building permit or to put a mobile home in, you have to have a perk test done for basically soil samples. But you do that first, and then you get approval for the septic. Once you get approval for the septic, then you can take out the permit, and whether you can get a well, whether you can hit water or not with a well, that's up to you. You might have to put in a big old storage tank and haul water in, which is very seldom heard of. Most everybody around here can get a well put on in. But once you get get approval for a septic system, and there's different types of septic systems, whether it be a standard septic system or a sand filter system. There's different ones, or a raised bed system. There's different ones that you can install. But once you get approved for any particular septic system, then you can get a permit to put the house in, and you can get a temporary power at that point. So you bring in your permanent power supply where you're going to go to up to the home, and then just outside the home, you put up a temporary pole that they'll be able to disconnect and continue from there on into the house and hook it up permanently. But you can get a temporary power to feed the home while it's under construction. You can get started as a amateur electrician. Yeah, and temporary service is no big deal, Sandra. It's that's pretty easy to get on in for the purpose of working, and it's not that costly. You need a permit to move a biohazard. Well, take the mattress out of the mobile home first, Tim. Just how deep, junkyard? Down at the bottom of my property, I hit water about 30 feet down. 27 feet down is how deep my well is, where I hit water at. And when I hit the water, then it would fill on up to about 10 feet, within 10 feet of the topsoil. But that's down at the bottom of my property. Up here, I would have to go probably 80 to 100 feet to hit water. Three wells 100 feet and one at 49 feet. That's not bad. 100 feet isn't too bad. But 3 wells 100 feet deep, man, that's quite a few wells. Is that for irrigation purposes? Yeah, we have places around here that are hand dug wells that are still in use too, Tim. Back in the 1800s, there was an two Amish brothers, or Mennonite brothers, I mean, and they would hand dig the wells, and they would dig them. There's some of those wells are hand dug down 200 and 300 feet. It's crazy. A friend of mine has a house that was built over the hand dug well. And he didn't even, when he bought the place, he didn't even know it was there. There's just some sheets of plywood laying over the top of it. And they were starting to rot out when he was cleaning out underneath the house and stuff. Nothing was in use of it, but it had been sealed on up. But his drilled well that was drilled on in was started giving a problem. So as soon as he found that, he was able to tap on into that, start using that well underneath his house again. And then he checked into history of it, found out that well was hand dug. He dropped a string down there, had to use a bunch of construction string. He measured it down. It took over 300 feet of string to hit the bottom of it, and it was all hand dug in. Water is 40 feet down in the wells, 60 feet of water. Wow. Anyway, guys, I got to get off here. I got to start my day. I do get, before it starts getting hot, I got to get some wood split. We'll catch y'all later. Bye, y'all. Thanks for coming.